The National Defense College says improved defense diplomacy between Nigeria and other African countries is needed to tackle the ongoing security crisis in the country. Now, this is coming against the backdrop of its 30th anniversary and graduation of Corps' 30 participants. The college trains selected senior officers in achieving strategic objectives of improving security in Africa. Participants at the graduation ceremony will include President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame.
College as it is a key arm of national defense diplomacy because of the level of interaction between the college and members of the armed forces from foreign countries. So we pride ourselves in advancing our defense diplomacy and ultimately the national foreign policy of the country. The college, too, is a center of excellence in the conduct of peace support operations at the strategic level. In this regard, we have key partners in AU and ECOWAS in advancing peace support operations, particularly as regards the theoretical components that advance these missions at the strategic level.
Well, to discuss the growing state of insecurity in Nigeria, we are now being joined from Lagos by retired Colonel Hassan Stan-Labi. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight. Let me begin by asking you if you understand and if you are able to identify what we are currently dealing with as a country. Are we seeing an expansion of frontiers by terrorists, or is it a change of tactics, or is crime evolving? What exactly is it?
I'm afraid you're caught in. I'm not getting you clearly. Can you take that all over again, Namason?
I was just asking you if you understand and identify what we're dealing with. Are the terrorists expanding their frontiers? Are we seeing a change in tactics? Or is crime evolving?
Yes, as a matter of fact, what we are seeing is a change in tactics by the belligerents, all right? And I think it is important to get to know by now that this isn't an enemy body of troops that we would want to undermine by every sense. They have always told us what they want to do in advance, and they go ahead and do it, and they achieve it, and they walk out with impunity. They've done it not once, not twice, not thrice. Now they have told us they are coming after our president. If we take it with a pinch of salt, definitely we will suffer the repercussions. If we take it as a warning and work towards it to ensure it does not happen, fine and good. But I must advise we don't treat these guys with any sense of levity, otherwise we shall pay dearly for it.
You know, the response of the federal government concerning the issue of the kidnapped Abuja, Kaduna train victims. Government says, look, the military knows what it is doing. It has the capacity. As a matter of fact, government says it has provided everything that is required in terms of morale, equipment, and all of that. But what do you think is missing in this war against terrorism?
Well, if only I get it clearly, the missing link I would say is that we still have some level of deficit emanating from intelligence operations. It is either intelligence is right, and they are conveying to the appropriate authorities the relevant intelligence or information they are getting from the field, which of course they get crystallized into intelligence and pass on to appropriate authorities. And maybe the authorities are not making any use of such intelligence, or something else is wrong. I'm afraid we have serious issues with intelligence, all right? Before we begin to talk of the overflogged issue of manpower and what have you, which some of us have always, we've become apostles of a manpower issue now in the national security sector, okay? Besides this, so much has been said. It's just that it has come to our understanding, for those of us who are experts, availing advice. It has come to our own understanding that we seem to be talking to a bunch of leaders who are deaf and dumb. Okay? They are not adhering to advice. They are not taking our advice. They are not trying to see how you can be of assistance or help in any way. And for every passing day, we are sinking as a nation.
Colonel Stan-Labi, the question really is, you talk about intel, Is the problem the lack of it or the refusal to use intel when it comes in the case of Kuje and even the Chibok situation?
Frankly speaking, Ngozi, I don't know where to place it. I must be frank with you. Is it that intel is forthcoming and it's not being used by appropriate authorities? Or it's not coming at all? But if you ask me, I would say I think intel is forthcoming. It's just that those who have at the political strategic level of power don't seem to probably know what to do with it. Or it has been ignored deliberately for reasons that are best known to them. The right question is, why have we been fighting this war for nearly 12 years and we don't seem to be making any impact? What is wrong? What is happening? Is it deliberate? Something is wrong. We must ask ourselves certain questions. We are not all. Certain elements at the top probably know what is happening and are deliberately not wanting us to win a war. Simple.
Are you saying there's complicity at the top? And it just reminds me of what a self-acclaimed bandit said, that insecurity has become a business that everyone benefits from, including the government. His very words.
You are heading towards, you are already walking towards my answer or my response. The whole damn thing has become a bunch of business in which everybody is benefiting from. Everybody now, I mean all stakeholders, okay, who are involved in the execution of this war, be they the political arm or whatever. And when I mean everybody, I mean right from the political strategic level down to the tactical level. Everybody is benefiting. Everybody. So nobody wants this thing to be over. Some of us, including myself, are gradually drawing our own conclusions to be that simple.
And let me ask you.
So we have a prolonged Christmas Day and let the rice be available for us all as kids to eat. Simple.
Retired Colonel, where will you place the efforts of the multinational joint task force and the issue of proliferation of small arms and light weapons? What role would this play in the situation we find ourselves at the moment?
Talking about proliferation of small arms and light weapons, it's an area that I really take a lot of interest in. I have done a paper on it. I have done a discussion paper on it. I have submitted or distributed it to nearly every appropriate quarters on what I think the solution should be, and so on. Why is it that up till this moment we, as a nation, we have problems in raising a small border unit constituted of full-fledged combatant elements, okay, with their air wing and what have you, that would really man our borders and take charge of our borders? I've had a stint at the border as a young officer growing up way back, all right, where some of us had the course to agencies. And we saw the rot that goes on at the borders. Falling back on such experience, some of us have sat down to put together some piece of advice, even with a discussion paper following. Nothing had, not even an acknowledgement, nothing. I weep for my country. I really weep for my country. We've never had it this way. I can't believe this is Nigeria.
We do feel that, really. We do feel it, just like every other Nigerian. Colonel Stan-Labi, retired. Thank you so much for joining us. A very sobering thought there that you've left us with.